Hey guys, Mo Trapper. So I got in my No BS K9 Xtreme Junior wire lever trap. And so this is regular levers, right? So the big wide pieces of metal that make up the levers, right? And then this guy is the wire lever version. So you can see the levers on this trap are made from wire rather than those solid pieces of metal. So I've got it set right now. Let's go ahead and snap it off. I will say that I added a shock spring to it, and I added a little bowstring wax. You can actually see back here on the block, you can see that wax, that kind of white stuff is kind of built up on the block. I do that to all my No BS traps. The first thing I do, get them out of the box, take that bowstring wax and line that block with that bowstring wax, set them and snap them off a few times, and then I test them to see what the poundage is. So let's see here, middle of the pan, 1, 2, 3, almost 4, so 3.5, 4 pounds. That's pretty common. That's pretty normal. Kind of what I'm used to seeing from these traps is once you do your bowstring wax, they come, you know, they're usually right in 3.5 to 4.5 pounds, somewhere in that range. And I'm perfectly comfortable setting that trap with that you know, paying attention. Now this one I did play around with it a little bit. So a lot of these traps, I will loosen this pan, so it's just a nylock nut over here and a Phillips head screw over here, and you can loosen those pans, and you can loosen them to where they're floppy. I'm not sure about this one. Yeah, this one's, I mean, it's not quite totally floppy, but it's pretty close. Which I'm kind of used to them being about floppy. You know what I mean? Maybe not just falling under their own weight, but pretty close to that. And this pan was a little stiff when I first got it, so I thought I may have to, you know, loosen it up a little bit. So I did loosen it up, put the bowstring wax on it, and that thing was a hair trigger. I mean, it was like under a pound of pan tension. So it got way down there real fast. So I went ahead and tightened it back up a little bit and got it back to that 3.5, 4.5 pounds. So I don't think you need them that light, right? If you're under a pound, you're going to have snap offs that are just from the weight, like, of the dirt you sift over the top of the trap, right? So if you try to run like a hair trigger, where it's no pan tension required to set the trap off, you know, under a pound, just as you're sifting dirt over, they'll go off. And also, overnight they'll go off, right? So you'll set them and they'll be fine, and when you leave, but if you get a heavy dew or any kind of moisture gets in the dirt that's over the top, that can be enough, a frost, right? That can add enough weight to what's already over the top of the trap to set them off. So you want at least a 2 pound, I would say at least a 2.5 pound pan tension. I like it, you know, in that 3.5 to 4.5 pound range. But anyway, I'll do some more pictures and things, so you guys can kind of see this trap. But you know, there's your wire levers. They're basically the same, right? So this is the wire lever, No BS K9 Xtreme Junior, and this is a standard lever, No BS K9 Xtreme Junior, right? So they're basically the same. You know, the only real difference is, again, those wire levers. These traps, just in general, whether you like the wire lever or whether you like the regular lever, whether you like the junior, which this is the junior size, or the regular Xtreme, which is a little bit bigger trap. You know, I was just looking at this trap when I got it, and it is incredible what you get for the price when you buy these traps. These are the heaviest traps in their class on the market. They're heavier than an MB650, right? As far as just like the thickness of all of the materials that they use. I mean, they're really, really, really heavy duty. They're base plated with the center swivel. You know, this, I mean, just the thickness of this material is ridiculous. It's way better, or way thicker and heavier than any of the other traps in the class. You know, I get the outside lamination, so it's got a nice wide jaw. They close up high. You know, your jaws are bolted on, so they can be replaced. Nylock nuts all the way around, so those nuts aren't going to back out and change, you know, as the trap is fired or makes catches and things like that. I mean, and this black coating that he uses, I don't know what it is, but it is some really, really, really tough stuff. So this is brand new. You can kind of see, you know, the color and the consistency of the coating on a brand new trap. This trap is at least 3 seasons, maybe 4 seasons old. I have a couple of these stolen, it seems like, every year. And unfortunately, every year it's always these. I've got Duke 550s and MB 550s and MB 450s, and I've got, well, you guys have seen, I've got a whole big hodgepodge of traps, right? Bridger number 2 dogless. But every time I get a trap stolen, it seems like it's one of these and not one of the others, right? Which is a bummer. But they're easy to replace. You can buy them one at a time to replace them. You know, if you lose them or have them stolen. But this one's been dyed in logwood trap dye and dipped in Full Metal Jacket. You know, and I've talked about this before. I don't even know if I really need to do that with these. I don't know if I need to dip them in Full Metal Jacket, but I do, just because it's kind of my process, and all the traps go through the same process. But I mean, the majority of this, and this trap's caught, you know, several coyotes, I'm sure several coons. You know, I don't even know, to be honest with you. Bobcats, you know, possums, who knows? Domestic dogs, I don't know. But it's obviously made several catches, because some of that coating is scratched off of it. But I mean, to still look that good, you know, 3, 4, 5 seasons in, is pretty amazing. So, you know, I know there's some controversy with the paying tension on these. I have never experienced a problem with paying tension on these traps. I just showed you this one came right out of the box, and that's what it was. They're easy to get the paying tension down in that 3.5 to 4.5 range, as long as you use bowstring wax. So, I mean, for the price that you pay for these traps, I really don't think there's anything even close on the market as far as the value that you're going to get for them. So, anyway, that's about it for this one. Thanks, guys.